Well, it's great to have a new guest in the studio, Pastor Paul Sawrey from Shore Vineyard, which is actually my church. So it's nice to have you in here, Paul.
Great to be here.
Now, you're in here because you are recently back from Scotland.
That's right.
And you have taken over pastoring our church, which is very exciting. And you're in here because you thought it'd be really great to talk about the fantastic, fabulous things that are going on around the country.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it's really good to do that. It's great returning to New Zealand and just meeting people, hearing stories, seeing examples of some incredible things that are just happening with ordinary, everyday people, volunteers, doing extraordinary, amazing things.
Yeah, they really do. So maybe if we could back up a little bit and you could tell us a little bit about who you are.
Yeah, so I am an ordained pioneer minister. I was ordained in London. At actually St. Paul's Cathedral, which was an amazing experience.
Cool.
But being involved in church planting and leading churches, different sizes, different denominations and so on, different areas. But we're returning to New Zealand to take on a vineyard church, which is a little bit different because, as I say, I'm an ordained Anglican pioneer minister. But I get to do that alongside my wife, which is amazing. We're a great team, and I think what Vineyard do well is that they celebrate people who can work together and not really kill each other and annoy each other when they're working together. And I get to do that together. So it's brilliant. So we're really excited about that and encouraged to do that.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're off to a great start already, that's for sure. So what have you noticed in coming back? Because you did spend some time in New Zealand here a while back.
We did,
Then
yeah.
you were away and now you're back again. So what have you sort of noticed?
Yeah, I think we were here in 2016 for a couple of years, and we were part of a church, St. Paul's and Simon Street, so we were one of the vicars there. And again, you could hear amazing things. People just, I think Kiwis have just got this really amazing sort of approach and attitude, like we can do this, and let's just think outside the box, and let's just create, and let's just do things differently. And we loved that. And then I think being back in Scotland, back in the UK, I had this burning thing that was kind of growing within me of just like, wow, there is some amazing things, not just going on in New Zealand, but in the UK and around the world, that it would just be great to celebrate these things and there's a lot of bad news in the world, isn't there? We hear it all the time.
Yes,
and you're you scroll down a few things like, oh, wow, Lord, what is going on in the world?
Yeah.
And we're bombarded with so much bad news that actually be really good just to bring some good news and to celebrate some good news and encourage ourselves with what is going on in the world. And I think in the UK, I sort of started this initiative called Kaleidoscope. And Kaleidoscope, the idea is that you lift it up. There's a bit of work involved, but you've got to lift it up. You've got to point it at the light. You look through it and you kind of turn the wheel, as you know. But you get to see these amazing, colourful, beautiful, creative images as you lift it up and bring to light. So I did this thing called Kaleidoscope, which was basically celebrating those that are doing good in the world, bringing to light, lifting up, highlighting them. And I started in Scotland, and that kind of begun there. And actually Scotland, or Edinburgh, was the place where the kaleidoscope was invented by a Christian guy, Church of Scotland, lay reader. He invented the kaleidoscope. And bringing that back to New Zealand, that within my heart, I was just looking for the good. And I'm just like, Lord, what are you doing in New Zealand? What are you doing in Auckland? What are the things that, we just think are good and godly and encouraging and inspiring and hopeful?
Yeah.
And I think that was the position that I arrived in New Zealand.
I love
looking for that.
Because churches do amazing stuff around the country and we're all very, a little bit, sometimes I think we're a bit too humble about it.
Yeah.
We need to be telling people what the church is doing.
Yeah.
I remember a year ago, Lee and I interviewed a lady, she's an atheist, and she still is an atheist, but she said the church does amazing stuff around the country, and without the church doing what they do, this country would fall apart.
Wow.
Yeah, and so she said the church needs to be out there telling people what they're doing. So I love your ideas, and I love the fact that from this platform we can hear from you, what the church, what is going on in this country.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think there is this. It was the same in Scotland. It's the tall poppy syndrome, and we don't like putting our head above anywhere. We don't and we don't like sort of, I don't know, inflating anybody's ego. And there is some wisdom in that. If we center everything around a person, that can become tricky.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's around a group of people, a group of volunteers, if it's around a vision or a mantra that people are trying to do. But the sort of shadow side of that is that it was like, oh, let's not sort of encourage people. Let's not give them any spotlight. Let's not inflate their ego. Is that we don't actually hear about some of the incredible stuff.
That's right.
And I almost want to flip it on its head and be like a pom-pom, the pom-poms that cheerleaders use. And maybe we could call it pom-poms.
Yeah.
But, the pom-poms that cheerleaders, it's like, come on, guys, this is brilliant. Keep going. You're doing a good thing. It's not about you as an individual, but you with maybe your vision and your idea and your team of volunteers and your board of trustees. You are doing a good thing and it's making a difference and it's good and it's godly. And I think God smiles down upon that and loves that.
I think so too. And I think that's a really good place to finish. That is brilliant, Paul. So next week, you'll be back.
I'll be back.
And we're going to be hearing about some great stuff that's happening around the country.
Thank you.
Love it.